Hey guys, so day 10 of my 31 days of gratitude. Today I'm super grateful for self-awareness. Now, please listen up. This might take a little longer than a minute, but I want to share a story with you. Self-awareness, let me premise it by saying, is not a destination. It's a process, and you don't ever really truly get there completely. So, it's sometimes an excruciating process because we're not always completely mindful of our behavior, our demeanor, our attitude, right? So to be self-aware and be aware of how we're behaving with reference to the rest of the world is a huge thing, okay? Now I'll give you an example, a really simple example that happened to me this morning on the GO train. So the GO train is one of those things that I have a love-hate relationship with because it's definitely the best of all options that I have from commuting from North Toronto downtown, right? But sometimes I feel like I really have to exercise my patience because some people do not possess self-awareness in any way, shape, or form. So I don't know if this is the case for all lines, but on the Barrie line, there's something called the quiet zone, which is the upper part of the train. Now, I rarely sit there unless that's the only place I can get a seat. But in the mornings, the train that I take is relatively, it's not full, it's not crowded, so I can pretty much sit anywhere. So I usually sit on the bottom car, and I do my thing. Sometimes I read, sometimes I go on social media, sometimes I'm on the phone and I'm chatting with a friend, whatever the case may be. So this morning, I was chatting with a friend. Now, I know those people who talk like at full volume and have their business conversations, their personal conversations, their arguments full volume, and it's annoying, but it is what it is. People are doing their thing. But I'm very, very conscientious and self-aware when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I'm having a conversation with a friend, and I'm using like this kind of volume, right? And there's a woman sitting across from me. There's 2 empty seats, and there's all sorts of empty seats here, and she's reading her book. And she keeps looking up at me, and her demeanor and her vicious looks were like I was disturbing her. And as I said, I was being very respectful and mindful of my tone and my volume and the subject matter of which I was speaking of, which was completely just casual, okay? She kept looking up at me, kept looking up at me, kept looking up at me, giving me looks, and I was very tempted to say something like, dude, what's going on here? Like, if I'm bothering you, move. I'm not in the quiet zone. But I didn't. But my point is that, so I feel that I was expressing or exercising self-awareness in that I asked myself the question, am I being disrespectful or rude or being too loud and obnoxious? And the answer was no. And am I doing something inappropriate? And the answer was no. This person needs to exercise self-awareness because she was coming across like I was like yelling and screaming like a lunatic and disturbing the whole train, which was not the case. So my point is that I know it's not simple to actually sort of be in touch and be in tune with what's surrounding us and have that affect the way we are in the way we outwardly express ourselves, we carry ourselves, the way we come across to others. You have to be self-aware of what you say, what you do, and how you are, because we don't live in a bubble, right? So it's very, very important to do that. So today I'm grateful for my own personal self-awareness, which is not always on point, but today was, and I'm very proud of that. And so be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you come across to others. Be aware of your behavior. Be aware of your demeanor. Be aware of even the way you carry yourself, because it affects others, okay? So that's what I'm grateful for today. What are you grateful for today? I'll talk to you soon.